This evening, a 7-year-old child was seriously injured after he was struck down by a 50-year-old driver. Police ranks in Region 9 seized a number of drugs and illegal alcoholic beverages over the weekend. A known individual is wanted for the murder of a Venezuelan national in the Northwest District. In the region, Peru declares a state of emergency over surging violence, and internationally, Italy's Puglia region sees a surge in bombings and arson attacks. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Police in Regional Division 3 on mobile patrol duty, along with CPG members, arrested 3 men for possession of narcotics at Zealand New Housing Scheme Phase 3, East Bank Essequibo on Saturday, February 12, 2022. Reports said at around 11 p.m., police on mobile patrol saw 3 identifiable males sitting on a culvert. A CPG member saw one of the males throw a small clear Ziploc bag to the ground as the ranks were about to pass them. Another male threw a hefty $1,000 bill to the ground. The ranks exited the vehicle and retrieved the Ziploc bags and the bulky $1,000 notes. Both parcels were retrieved and opened in their presence. The parcels contained a quantity of whitish rock-like substances suspected to be cocaine. The men were told of the offense committed. However, they denied any knowledge of the parcels. The 3 suspects were all arrested and escorted to the Lenora police station along with the suspected cocaine. The Ziploc bag contained 8 pieces of whitish rock-like substance that weighed 4 grams, while the content of the $1,000 note were 23 pieces with weighed 5 grams. The suspects remain in custody pending charges. A 7-year-old child was seriously injured after he was struck down by a 50-year-old driver on Berbice's west coast. Esther Sobers has more.
Ranks of the Ghana police force are investigating an accident that has left a 7-year-old child in a critical condition on the Lovely Last public road, West Coast Berbice, on Sunday, February 13, 2022. According to the police in Regional Division 5, around 11:15 a.m., motorcar 8C9812, driven by 50-year-old Manchester Village Quarantine Berbice, was proceeding west along the public road at 75 kilometers per hour. It was alleged by the driver that the child who resides in the village suddenly ran north across the road from behind a parked car and into his path. Upon seeing the child, the driver applied brakes, but the front of the motor car collided with the child. As a result, the 7-year-old fell, receiving injuries about his body. He was picked up in an unconscious condition and taken to the Fort Wellington Public Hospital. He was seen and examined and referred to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital. He was further treated and then transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he is now a patient in the ICU, suffering from head injuries and a fractured shoulder. A breathalyzer test conducted on the driver found no alcohol in his breath. However, a notice of intended prosecution has been served. He remains in custody, assisting with further investigations. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Police ranks in Region 9 have seized a number of drugs and illegal alcoholic beverages over the weekend. Dale Jarvis has more in these reports.
Ranks of the Guyana Police Force in Regional Division No. 9, acting on information received, conducted a search at Tabatinga, Letem, Central Rupunini, and arrested 3 persons. During the search, a quantity of Ziploc bags containing suspected cannabis was discovered. The 3 suspects, when questioned, told the police that they sold aji. Nonetheless, a further search of the yard unearthed a plastic bag containing several small Ziploc bags with a quantity of seeds, leaves, and stems suspected to be cannabis sativa underneath a tree. 8 small plastics containing a creamish rock-like substance suspected to be cocaine were also found. The 3 occupants were taken to the Letem police station where the suspected cannabis sativa and cocaine were weighed and amounted to 34 grams and 3 grams respectively. The trio remains in custody pending charges. Additionally, in Region 9, acting on information received, police ranks went to 2 homes in Tabatanga, Central Rupununi, and seized a quantity of uncustomed alcoholic beverages totaling 624,000 on Saturday, February 12th. The residents raided were those of a 31-year-old taxi driver and a 50-year-old businessman, where police found over 2,000 tins of beers and over 100 bottles of rum. The alcohol and beers were taken to the Letem police station and lodged. The duo is awaiting charges. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Stick around after the break. Ghana police force is looking for a known individual who is wanted for the murder of a Venezuelan national, and police in Berbice destroyed over $100 million worth of cannabis over the weekend.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Welcome back. On Friday, February 11th, an intelligence-led operation was carried out by ranks from police headquarters and Regional Division 10 at Zion Berbice River and destroyed over $150 million worth of marijuana. The operation led to the discovery of 3 fields of marijuana plants on about 40 acres of land. The fields consisted of approximately 55,000 cannabis plants ranging from 1 foot to 10 feet in height, about 60 pounds of dried cannabis, 6 nurseries, and 5 camps. The cannabis plants and camps were destroyed by way of fire. No arrests, however, were made. The estimated street value for the suspected cannabis plants and dried cannabis is $115,800,000 Ghana dollars. The Ghana Police Force is looking for a known individual who is wanted for the murder of a Venezuelan national. Esther Sobers has more.
Police in Regional Division 1 is currently searching for a known male who has gone into hiding after allegedly killing a 43-year-old Venezuelan national between February 10th and 11, 2022 at Return Barmita, Northwest District. Dead is Rafael Antonio Aquino Soto. Headline News was informed on February 10th the suspect and the victim, who were known to each other, were at a shop consuming alcohol at Return Bar Meter. They both departed around 4 p.m., but they met on Bar Meter Road, where Sutu persuaded a female to accompany him instead of the suspect. The woman agreed to go with him, and the suspect allegedly became annoyed. A heated argument ensued between the two men. The suspect then pulled out a knife from the waist of his pants and dealt Sutu one stab to his chest before escaping. Medex Ejelo visited the scene and pronounced Sutu dead on the scene. His body was transported to the Port Kaituma mortuary awaiting postmortem examination. The suspect has not been arrested. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away after the break. Peru declares a state of emergency over surge in violence, and most Afghans airlifted to U.S. since the Taliban takeover resettled in new homes. But before that, here's a bridge attraction schedule.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. In South America, Peru's government has declared a 45-day state of emergency as many Peruvians consider insecurity the most pressing issue in the country. Al Jazeera's Marina Sanchez reports.
They say it will be a street-by-street cleanup strategy, police fighting a crime wave in Lima, a city of nearly 10 million people. On Friday night, they closed several blocks of a street lined with bars in one of the city's most dangerous districts as part of the state of emergency.
The neighborhood councils call us and tell us who are incurring in offenses. We are working with that information.
Dozens of armed robberies recorded by security cameras in recent months have many Peruvians, particularly women, living in fear. Margarita Moya says she's been forced to adapt.
I don't go out on the street after 5 p.m. I've been assaulted many times. They take your wallet and phone, and now if I have to go out, I don't have anything in my purse.
The most common attacks, young men targeting backpacks and purses, or men on motorcycles stealing cell phones from their victims. Peru's telecommunications regulator says an average of 4,000 cell phones are stolen every day around the country. The National Institute of Statistics says more than a quarter of Lima's population have been crime victims. More than 80% of the people who live in the state of emergency zone say they are dissatisfied with police security. But for the police it is difficult. For instance, in this area where more than 800,000 people live, there's only 10 police cars to patrol the streets. Now the government has ordered the army to join the patrols, and with a clenched fist, says Defense Minister José Luis Gavidia.
We'll use the full force of the law. Our soldiers know what they need to do. We're armed forces and we go out with guns. Authority is respected and that principle must be recovered.
Some analysts say the government lacks a considered plan to combat crime effectively.
Instead of deterring, the armed forces may encourage organized crime actors to arm themselves, like in Brazil or Mexico. Although we have an increasing level of violence, we are not in a critical situation. My impression is that the government's measure is basically populist.
The coronavirus pandemic has left more than 4 million Peruvians without a job, and police say most people involved in criminal activity are young, unemployed men. 60% of Peruvians disapprove of President Pedro Castillo's 6-month-long government for a range of reasons, including the crime rate. Critics say more police and soldiers on the streets, even if effective, will do little to curb public discontent. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Lima, Peru.
Internationally, about 90% of Afghans airlifted to the US since the Taliban took over Kabul are resettling into new homes. And while many families are relieved to be in the US, some of them face an uncertain future. Al Jazeera's Kristen Salumi has more.
They've found a place to live. Now, after fleeing Afghanistan with little more than the clothes on their backs, the Alamazada family has only a few months to figure out how to pay for it.
I'm going to start everything from zero.
Rahmatullah Alamazada worked as an interpreter back home, but has resigned himself to physical labor here in his new home in the state of New Jersey. He's got some job offers, but will need to buy a car to be able to get to work first.
The other cost, the other bill is so high. I must work hard to pay all them. It is very difficult for me.
Hey, are you by any chance at the warehouse?
The Reformed Church of Highland Park is helping.
And we will soon be hiring a refugee school impact coordinator.
Pastor Seth Caperdale has been resettling refugees for years and says donations have been pouring in.
So all this stuff is going to Afghan families who are resettling all around central New Jersey.
Everything from mattresses to money, since some 80,000 Afghans were airlifted to the United States.
We were deeply concerned. Then Kabul fell in August, and as we watched the same horrific scenes that everybody else did of the chaos at the airport, we knew that quite soon we'd be experiencing a surge like we'd never experienced in terms of arrivals.
They found the Alamazada family and more than 200 other Afghans a place to live, nearly triple their annual numbers, in a part of the country where affordable housing is hard to come by. In a matter of 6 months, the United States resettled all but 7,000 Afghans, evacuated as part of Operation Allies Welcome, into communities across the country. But those 7,000 remain on 2 military bases, one in Wisconsin and one here in New Jersey. But some families, tired of waiting for a placement, have begun leaving on their own, according to the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society. HIAS is one of the 9 resettlement agencies tasked with overseeing community placements.
Capacity-wise, we were not ready. Funding-wise, we were not ready that we will be able to support, the influx of Afghan arrivals.
That's a concern for refugees, most of whom have, at this point, only been given temporary visas.
We are here right now. We don't know what is our future.
They are thankful to those who have helped them land here, but relief has been replaced by worry. Kristen Salumi, Al Jazeera, Spotswood, New Jersey.
And finally, southern Italy's Puglia region has been hit by a series of bombing and arson attacks since the start of the year. Al Jazeera's Adam Rani reports.
The aftermath of a string of recent bombings and arson attacks in Foggia, a small city in southern Italy. No injuries were reported, but the message was clear. The local mafia was pushing back. Over the past 2 years, police have seized millions of dollars in assets and made several arrests. Some businesses are now refusing to pay protection money to the mafia. Alessandro Zito ran a construction firm here until his business was burned down by the mob. Facing death threats, he relocated his family. He now heads the newly launched local anti-racketing association.
By some estimates, 70% of businesses here pay protection to the mafia, a figure we can't confirm. With the association, we are trying to show people they are not alone. The only way to root out this problem is to stand up together.
In the wake of the bombings, police have increased patrols and investigations and set up roving checkpoints. Poor and underdeveloped like much of the South, Foggia has been the base for the so-called Fourth Mafia for decades. Unknown to many outside Italy, the collection of clans in the area make most of their money off extortion, drug trafficking, and prostitution.
The bombings weren't just directed at people not paying protection. The owner of this flower shop that was bombed wouldn't speak to us on camera, but she said no one ever came here asking her for money, and that's what scares her most. Investigators say these attacks were meant to spread fear.
Prosecutor Antonia Laronga showed us the mafia's reach here and how they control this area on the southeast coast of Italy.
The organization clearly feels the need for marketing. These attacks are meant to send a clear message. We are here.
Despite recent gains, Laronga isn't convinced they'll take the local mafia down soon.
I'm not optimistic. The path to justice is going to be a long one. There are some hopeful signs, but the situation is still uncertain. There are lots of powerful clans and a culture of crime here.
Luca Vigilante and his family run a chain of health clinics in the area, treating thousands of patients. The mafia came calling. Despite the risks, his family said no.
In the future, if my children follow in my footsteps in this work, after teaching them their whole life about morality, ethics, Christian values, I'd have to say, look, if you want to continue this work, you'll have to give money to criminals. It would be hypocritical and absurd, a really awful thing for them.
Not all here feel they can stand up to the mob. They know when the police aren't there to protect them, the mafia could come calling again. Adam Rainey, Al Jazeera, Foggia, Italy.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.